Moody'S Anecdotes and Illustrations. Related in his revival work by the great evangelist, Dwight L. Moody. Background on Dwight L. Moody, Ira D. Sankey, and D. W. Whittle. Dwight L. Moody. Self-made, and conscious of the absolute truthfulness of every Bible declaration, Dwight Lyman Moody is today, perhaps, the most independent and powerful of living evangelists. Man, rather than books, and God, rather than man, have been his study, and made his life intensely individual, and one which has constantly increased in good works. In his 35 years labor for Christ, from his mission class of 14 scholars in a Chicago saloon, down to the 10,000 listening souls in the halls of Europe and tabernacles of America, he has been the same faithful, persevering, original, and pungent D. L. Moody, with an unshaken faith in God, and a burning desire for the conversion of souls. At home Mr. Moody is cheerful and happy, in the social circle he is genial and companionable, in the pulpit he is truth on fire. His native town is Northfield, Massachusetts, where he was born February 5, 1837. He is therefore now, 1896, 59 years old. Ira D. Sankey. Ira David Sankey, known throughout the world as the companion of Mr. Moody, was born in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, August 28, 1840. His musical talents were early developed. Political glee clubs at first monopolized his genius, but after his conversion in 1857, the Sunday school and church opened wider fields, in which he has since labored with increasing usefulness. In June, 1870, at a Christian convention in Indianapolis, after a morning service, where Mr. Sankey led the singing, he met for the first time Mr. Moody. "Where do you live? Are you married? What business are you in?" At once inquired the evangelist. "I want you." "What for?" "To help me in my work in Chicago." "I cannot leave my business," replied the now astonished singer. "You must," said Moody. "I have been looking for you for the last 8 years." And thus was Mr. Sankey called to be the companion and helper of the great evangelist. They have been laboring together, for about a score of years. D. W. Whittle. For many years D. W. Whittle has been engaged in evangelistic work, giving it all his time, talents and energy. His first effort in connection with Mr. Bliss, who afterwards became his companion in the cause, was made over 20 years ago in a small town near Chicago. It was on this occasion that he told the story, "Hold the Fort," which the singing evangelist has rendered immortal. He is in the prime of life, and earnestly devoted to the Master's cause. His discourses are concise and clear, abounding with scripture quotations, and, like those of Mr. Moody, interspersed with pointed anecdotes and illustrations. His preaching has been signally blessed wherever he has been called to labor. Paul P. Bliss. Philip Paul Bliss, the sweet singer, was born in Clearfield County, Pennsylvania, in 1837. It was not until after he had reached the period of manhood that he felt the stirrings of his musical gift. And then, under the inspiration of his wife, he entered upon the study of musical science, and laid the basis of his immortal hymns, now sung around the world. In 1864 he moved to Chicago, where his musical talent and Christian character soon placed him in charge of the choir and Sunday school of the First Congregational Church, and where he made the acquaintance of D. W. Whittle, with whom, for the last 5 years of his life he labored in the great gospel work. Deep spirituality and persuasiveness pervade all of Mr. Bliss' musical compositions. It is doubtful if the world ever heard sweeter hymns. Had he lived longer we should have heard more, but God, who raised him up for the work, called him. For those who sleep, and those who weep, above the portals narrow the mansions rise beyond the skies, we're going home tomorrow. Thanks.